According to videos and posts on social media from residents of the city of Pacaraima, located on the border with Venezuela and very close to the border with Guyana, reports indicate a movement of troops and vehicles from the Brazilian army, classified by them as abnormal. In an article published by Folha BV on November 24, citing the 1st Jungle Infantry Brigade as a source, the Army stated that this movement was part of Operation Roraima 20D3, a series of advanced training actions carried out to maintain the readiness of units of the Brazilian Army dedicated to jungle warfare. However, the Ministry of Defense has not yet issued an official statement, as reported by Folha BV. These troop and armored vehicle movements coincided with statements from Celso Amorim, advisor to the Presidency for International Affairs, who, in a meeting with Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela, requested the diplomatic resolution of tensions with Guyana. But what are these tensions? Origins of tensions between Venezuela and Guyana date back to the 17th and 18th centuries, when the region corresponding to present-day Guyana was ceded to the British Empire by the Netherlands, a process that did not include the proper demarcation of borders. Since Venezuela's independence, Venezuelans claim that the Esequiel region, encompassing 74% of Guyana, belongs to them. These claims have had many ups and downs over the past 150 years, with Hugo Chavez burying Venezuelan claims during his administration. However, the discovery of large gas and oil deposits off the coast of Guyana roused the interest of Nicolas Maduro, who, ignoring Hugo Chavez's words, resurrected the claims during Jair Bolsonaro's administration. The situation gained prominence in 2023 with the start of Lula's administration, a strong ally of Maduro, allowing Venezuela to boldly press its claims over the region, culminating in a referendum scheduled by Maduro for December 3. Maduro seeks popular support to increase pressure on the Guyanese government and possibly justify a military invasion, presenting it as the will of the Venezuelan people, although it is driven by the greed of the Venezuelan governing elite for Guyana's resources. Knowing that Lula is its great ally and being well aware of the Brazilian president's position regarding territorial expansion wars, with Lula stating numerous times that the only way to end the war in Ukraine is if Ukrainians hand over to Putin the lands he illegally annexed, there may be the perfect scenario for an invasion of Guyana, expecting to obtain a pacifying intervention from its Brazilian ally. With Lula pressuring the Guyanese government to cede at least a portion of the lands coveted by Maduro to Venezuela. All of this to put an end to the war. The problem is that a war of this kind can quickly spiral out of control, especially if Guyana manages to forge alliances for its defense. The gas and oil fields off the coast of Guyana are being exploited by North American companies or countries allied with the United States. This means that if Maduro manages to invade and annex the Essequibo territory, those North American companies will suffer billions in losses. In the face of this scenario, the possibility of intervention by the United States or other countries with interests in Guyana, such as France, which has companies exploring the region, and an overseas region close by, cannot be ruled out. If intervention occurs and combat intensifies, thousands of people in the affected regions may be forced to abandon their lands and homes, worsening the humanitarian crisis of Venezuelan refugees in the northern part of Aracay. A war between Venezuela and Guyana could unfold quickly, with Guyana succumbing to the invasion, or it could be prolonged and terrible, potentially involving other countries such as the United States, France, Russia, and China. In the face of this potential development, the Brazilian army needs to remain vigilant and prepared.